Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to start by greeting all guests and participants who have joined us today. A very good morning to Minister of Primary and Secondary Education Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Bapak Abdul Mukti. Good morning, Bapak. Secretary General Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education Republic of Indonesia, Ibu Suharti. Deputy Director for Program and Development of SEAMEO Secretariat, Mr. John Arnold Siena. Director of SEAMEO CISEP, Madam Vina Adriani. Director General of Early Childhood Education, Basic Education, and Non-Formal and Informal Education, the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Gogot Suharwoto. High officials from the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, Republic of Indonesia, and other line ministries and agencies.
Our distinguished keynote speakers, plenary speakers, and all participants. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
A very good morning, selamat pagi, salam sejahtera.
Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Welcome to the SEAMEO Center Policy Research Network Summit 2026 with the theme of Bridging Research, Policy and Practice, Pathways Toward an Inclusive, Equitable and Sustainable Futures. It is a pleasure for me, Chair Primolana, and my colleague,
Rita Anggorowati, to be your host for today's event.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the SEAMEO Center Policy Research Network Summit, or CPRN Summit, is an annual flagship event that brings together researchers, policymakers, and practitioners from across Southeast Asia to advance education, science, and culture through evidence-based dialogue and regional collaboration.
This year, the CPRN Summit 2026 carries the theme Bridging Research, Policy and Practice, Pathways Toward an Inclusive, Equitable and Sustainable Futures, a call to action for all of us to move beyond silos and to ensure that research does not only inform policy, but truly transform lives.
This summit is held under the steering of the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education of the Republic of Indonesia and the SEAMEO Secretariat, and is proudly organized by SEAMEO CISEP.
We are equally grateful to our co-organizer whose partnership makes this summit possible. KICS IMEP Hub, Inovasi, the School of Postgraduate Studies of Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, the Conversation Indonesia, SEAMEO STEM Ed, SEAMEO Simolek, SEAMEO Rekfon.
SEAMEO Kitab in Language, SEAMEO Kitab in Science, SEAMEO Kitab in Mathematics, SEAMEO Biotrop, and BBGTK Provinsi Jawa Barat.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, over the next 3 days from the 9th to 11th June 2026, this summit brings together more than 200 participants from across Southeast Asia and beyond to engage in meaningful dialogue, knowledge exchange, and collaborative action.
We are honored to welcome 5 distinguished keynote speakers whose expertise will help shape our discussions on education, policy, research, artificial intelligence, and regional development.
The program also features 4 plenary sessions addressing key issues and emerging opportunities in education, science, and culture.
In addition, parallel sessions will provide opportunities for participants to present research, exchange ideas, and receive valuable feedback from fellow researchers and practitioners.
Complementing this session, a variety of side events will offer practical insights, capacity building opportunities, and collaborative learning experiences throughout the summit.
Ladies and gentlemen, proceeding to our first agenda, please raise for the national anthem Indonesia Raya, followed by the SEAMEO colors.
Please raise. Thank you.
Thank you, and please be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, moving to our next agenda. It is our honor to invite Ibu Vina Adriani, the Director of SEAMEO CISAT, to present the committee report of the SEAMEO CPRN Summit 2026. Director Vina, the floor is yours.
Distinguished on-site guests, Minister of Primary and Secondary Education of the Republic of Indonesia, Insinyur Suharti MA PhD, Secretary Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education Republik of Indonesia, Bapak Gogot Suharwoto, SPD MED PhD, Directorate General of Early Childhood Education, Primary Education, Non-Formal and Informal Education, Ibu Vivi Andriani STMSC, Head of Bureau Planning and Cooperation, Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, Republic of Indonesia, Mr. John Siena, the Deputy Director of the SEAMEO Secretariat, the Special Envoy Staff of the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, distinguished keynote speakers, all plenary speakers, and all esteemed guests and participants. A very good morning to all of you. It is my great honor to present the committee report for the SEAMEO Center Policy Research Network, or CPRN 2026 conference. This conference is attended approximately by more than 200 participants, consists of academic researcher participants from across the region. All the participants are coming from all countries in Southeast Asia and beyond. It will be conducted over the next 3 days, from 9 to 11 June 2026, bringing together diverse perspectives and expertise in the field of education policy and practices. The primary objective of CPRN 2026 is to strengthen the connection between research, policy, and practice while fostering regional and beyond collaboration among SEAMEO member countries. Through this platform, we aim to provide evidence-informed policymaking, encourage knowledge exchange, and support the development of inclusive, equitable, and sustainable education system. The benefits of this conference are not only reflected in the exchange of ideas during the session, but also in the strengthening of professional network, the development of collaborative partnership, and the generation of policy-relevant insight that can contribute to meaningful change in our region. This year, we received a wide range of paper submission covering diverse and critical themes, including inclusive education, equity in access, early childhood education, and up to higher education, teacher professional development, digital transformation in education, and education policy innovation. This contribution reflects the richness of perspective and the urgency of the challenges we collectively face in the region. This conference consists of several sessions. It will feature keynote session. It will also consist panel discussion, parallel presentation, and also side events on workshop. All the sessions are designed to facilitate further dialogue and deepen our understanding of the problem and challenge faced by the region and beyond. As part of its commitment to generate tangible outcome, CPRN 2026 also will produce several key outputs. These include conference proceeding, synthesis policy dialogue, peer-review academic journal publication, and edited book published by international publisher. This will highlight the key insight and also actionable recommendation in the future. These outputs are expected to extend the conversation and also the impact of this conference beyond the conference itself, ensuring that the knowledge generated will contribute to ongoing policy development and practice. On this occasion, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the outstanding teamwork and dedication shown by the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education. Terima kasih Pak Menteri untuk supportnya terhadap kegiatan kami. And also, I would like to express my highest appreciation to the ongoing support given by the SEAMEO Secretariat. Thank you very much, Mr. John Siena, for the constant support. Your collectively effort truly reflect the spirit of regional cooperation. And I'm also pleased, as a very famous phrase said, that it takes a village to raise a child. I think in our case, it also takes a village to develop education sector. I'm very humble and I'm very privileged to announce that this conference is the result of collaboration for various partners. And I would like to call upon the distinguished partner to please rise as I call your name. I would like to extend my highest appreciation to the GPA KICS. Jose, please, thank you very much for your ongoing support. And also from the Inovasi, the program funded by DFED. Any representative from Inovasi? Mbak Nurman, thank you so much. And also from the School of Postgraduate Studies, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. Okay. And then the Conversation Indonesia and the SEAMEO Center in Indonesia, SEAMEO Kitab in Science, SEAMEO Kitab in Language, SEAMEO Kitab in Mathematics, SEAMEO Lex, SEAMEO Rekfon, SEAMEO Biotrop, and also SEAMEO STEM Ed in Thailand. Thank you very much for your support, and we are deeply grateful for your invaluable support, steadfast commitment, and meaningful collaboration in advancing the goal of this initiative. Your contribution have been instrumental in making CPRN 2026 possible and also impactful. As we move forward, we hope that this outcome of the conference will continue to inspire collaboration, strengthen network, and contribute to the evidence-informed policymaking across Southeast Asia. And finally, I would like to seek for the guidance and also advice from the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education before we commence this event. Finally, I wish all participants a very productive, enriching, and inspiring conference. Thank you very much. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to everyone.
Thank you, Director Vina. Please join us in giving her a warm round of applause.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to present to you the remarkable achievement of SEAMEO CSEP over the past fiscal year. By fostering dedication, innovation, and collaboration, SEAMEO CSEP has achieved remarkable milestone, making a meaningful impact on early childhood care, education, and parenting across the region. We invite you to sit back and enjoy the following video showcasing the journey and achievement of SEAMEO CSEP.
(2025) was a year of growth, innovation, and collaboration for SEAMEO CSEP. Guided by our commitment to advancing early childhood care, education, and parenting, we continued working with governments, researchers, educators, and communities across Southeast Asia to create better opportunities for every child. Research and development. SEAMEO CSEP advanced early childhood research by reviewing over 1,600 studies for teacher development and promoting anti-bias education. Partnering with BRIN and Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, the center developed inclusive financing models for equitable access while capturing cultural insights through regional ethno-parenting studies submitted to international journals. Capacity building. SEAMEO CSEP organized 20 capacity-building programs involving 1,683 participants, including 1,649 participants from Indonesia and 16 international participants. Through training, workshops, technical assistance, and professional learning activities, educators strengthened their skills and knowledge in parenting education, holistic integrative development, inclusive education, artificial intelligence, and innovative learning practices. Beyond Indonesia, SEAMEO CSEP strengthened regional cooperation through the Early Childhood Education Lecturer Competency Development Training in Cambodia, supporting higher education institutions in preparing future generations of early childhood educators. Advocacy and partnership. Collaboration is essential for sustainable impact. In 2025, SEAMEO CSEP expanded strategic partnerships and strengthened engagement with governments, universities, development partners, and civil society organizations throughout the region. Strengthened regional collaboration through discussions with RNEC on the upcoming ECD Regional Learning Forum and key issues, including climate change and sustainable financing for early childhood development. A significant milestone was achieved through the collaborative development of the Roadmap on Early Childhood Care and Education in Southeast Asia. This initiative reflects a shared regional commitment to ensuring quality, inclusive, and sustainable services for young children. Received the Education Partner Award from the Pangandaran Regency government in recognition of its contribution and collaboration in supporting educational development. Successfully hosted the 4th International Conference on Early Childhood Care, Education, and Parenting, bringing together experts, policymakers, and practitioners from 11 countries to discuss equity, quality, and innovation in early childhood education. Through regional forums, seminars, and webinars, SEAMEO SECSEP promoted knowledge sharing and policy discussions on parenting, holistic integrative services, nutrition, inclusion, and child development. Continued to promote innovation and evidence-based approaches in early childhood education through the Anna King Child Development Application. Thank you to all our partners, stakeholders, educators, researchers, and communities for being part of this journey. Together, we are shaping a brighter future for every child across Southeast Asia.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a truly inspiring journey it has been for SEAMEO CSAP. We hope that the video has given you a deeper appreciation of the dedication and passion behind every milestone achieved.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, next we are pleased to welcome Mr. John Arnold Siena, the Deputy Director for Program and Development of the SEAMEO Secretariat, to deliver his opening remarks. Mr. Siena, the floor is yours.
Your Excellency, Professor Dr. Abdul Muti, Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Republic of Indonesia. Your Excellency, Ibo Dr. Soeharti, MEd PhD, Secretary General of the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, Ministry of Education in Republic of Indonesia. Dr. Gogot Suwaroto, SPD, MEd PhD, Director General of Early Childhood Care and Education, MOPSE. Esteemed Professor Dr. Vina Adriani, Director of SEAMEO CESEP or CHECHEP, our Regional Center for Early Childhood Care, Education, and Parenting. Distinguished directors, officials, and representatives of the different SEAMEO regional centers, honored policymakers, researchers, international partners, ladies and gentlemen. It is my profound honor to represent the SEAMEO Secretariat Director, Datuk Dr. Habiba Abdul Rahim, who is sending her warmest greetings, her highest regards, and her deepest appreciation to each one of you who are gathered here in Jakarta. She will be joining us later today to actively participate in all the scheduled activities of the SEAMEO Center's Policy Research Network Summit 2026. On behalf of the SEAMEO Secretariat, I would like to extend our profound gratitude to our host country, the Government of the Republic of Indonesia, through the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, for their warm hospitality. We also highly commend SEAMEO CESEP for its unwavering commitment and dedication as the main organizer of this summit, alongside our co-organizers, the GPE KICS EMAP Hub, Inovasi, the School of Postgraduate Studies at Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, and the Conversation Indonesia. as well as the 7 SEAMEO centers based here in Indonesia, and SEAMEO STEM Ed in Thailand, all together who collaborated to make this milestone event a reality. Our theme for this year's summit, Bridging Research, Policy and Practice, Pathways Toward Inclusive, Equitable, and Sustainable Futures, gets straight to the heart of SEAMEO's enduring mission. Southeast Asia's cultural, geographic, and socio-economic diversity is our region's greatest asset. We are globally recognized as a major economic bloc with our almost 700 million people. Our combined GDP has reached approximately $3.6 trillion US dollars, positioning Southeast Asia as the world's 5th largest economy, with projections expected to rise further in the coming years. The region now accounts for close to 10% of the global trade and has attracted more than $229 billion US dollars in foreign direct investments. Indeed, our human capital has always been our greatest asset. Yet, persistent inequities continue to affect our most vulnerable populations: children with disabilities, girls in remote communities, indigenous peoples, and marginalized groups. Too often, historical interventions have been fragmented or partial. Addressing the needs of some while leaving others behind is, in effect, a form of taking sides. It risks reinforcing the very inequalities we seek to dismantle. To effect true structural change, we must break down traditional silos. The SEAMEO Center's Policy Research Network was established precisely for this reason, to ensure that scientific, educational, and cultural research does not happen in isolation. We are here to build data-driven pathways where rigorous evidence directly shapes ministerial policy and where policy seamlessly translates into transformative classroom and community practice. The agenda for the next 3 days is meticulously mapped against the 7 SEAMEO priorities. By looking at a region through the intersectional lenses of education, science, and culture, we are collectively designing solutions that look at the whole learner and the entire life cycle, mindful of the contexts and the inequities that prevent us from fully unleashing our regional potential. From institutionalizing child-centered transition mechanisms in early childhood care and education, to reforming teacher policies and professional development frameworks, to integrating artificial intelligence for equitable practices, our focus remains on driving measurable, lasting improvements. From today until Thursday, we will witness pathways for collaboration grounded on rigorous research, and we have heard that we have a great number of research submitted for this summit, robust data and evidence to tackle our shared issues and chart the way forward to achieve our collective ambition. We will listen not just to evidence, but also to diverse perspectives, rich insights drawn from research, lived experience, and highly formed expertise. We look forward, therefore, to the discussions, exchanges, and presentations. We are incredibly encouraged of more or less 200 distinguished participants. In my list, it's 150, but now it has ballooned to 200. We are all here today, spanning senior policymakers from ministries across Southeast Asia, directors and leading researchers from our SEAMEO centers and network, academic experts, civil society organizations, and international development partners. The policy briefs, comparative matrices, and action-oriented agendas generated in our parallel sessions and workshops will not simply end when this summit closes. They will serve as the intellectual foundation to inform regional mandates and cross-border collaboration, ultimately shaping the recommendations presented to our SEAMEO officials within the Ministries of Education and to our broader education stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, true regional integration does not require absolute uniformity. Rather, it thrives on mutual trust, shared evidence, and collective determination to ensure that no learner is left behind. Let us use this high-level platform to engage in an open, brave, and collaborative dialogue. Again, on behalf of Datuk Dr. Habiba Abdul Rahim and the SEAMEO Secretariat, I officially welcome everyone to the SEAMEO CPRN Summit 2026. I wish you all a highly inspiring, productive, and successful conference. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much for the remarkable message, Dr. Siena.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the welcoming remarks from the President of the SEAMEO Council. It is our highest honor to receive a welcoming address from Yang Berhormat Datin Sri Setia Dr. Hajah Romaizah binti Haji Muhammad Saleh, President of the SEAMEO Council. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen as we receive her welcoming remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Your Excellency Professor Dr. Abdul Mukti, Minister of Primary and Secondary Education of the Republic of Indonesia, Yang Mulia Datuk Dr. Habibah Abdul Rahim, Director of the SEAMEO Secretariat, Vice Minister of Primary and Secondary Education of the Republic of Indonesia, distinguished delegates, respected researchers, policymakers, practitioners and partners, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you and a very good morning to all. On behalf of the SEAMEO Council, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the SEAMEO Center Policy Research Network, CPRN 2026 conference. In my capacity as President of the SEAMEO Council, I bear the responsibility of providing strategic leadership to strengthen regional cooperation and guide our collective efforts in shaping responsive, evidence-informed education policies across SEAMEO member countries. Ladies and gentlemen, in this context, CPRN serves as a key strategic platform in advancing this mandate. Since its establishment in 2016, CPRN has evolved into a dynamic regional mechanism that connects research, policy, and practice. It plays an essential role in ensuring that knowledge generated through research does not remain within academic spaces, but is translated into policies and actions that create meaningful impact for our communities. This year's theme, Bridging Research, Policy and Practice, Pathways Toward an Inclusive, Equitable and Sustainable Future, reflects not only our shared aspirations, but also our collective responsibility to ensure that education systems across Southeast Asia become more inclusive, equitable, and resilient. Ladies and gentlemen, the expectations for CPRN 2026 are clear. First, to strengthen the role of research in informing policy decisions at both national and regional levels. Second, to foster deeper collaboration among researchers, policymakers, and practitioners across SEAMEO member countries. And third, to generate actionable recommendations that can guide concrete policy reforms and innovations in education. However, our work does not end here. CPRN is not a one-time event, but a continuous regional movement. The conversations, partnerships, and ideas that emerge from this conference must be sustained, expanded, and translated into long-term actions. As we look ahead to 2027 and beyond, we envision CPRN continuing to grow as a strong and impactful platform, one that consistently contributes to shaping regional policy directions and strengthening evidence-based decision-making. The SEAMEO Council remains committed to supporting this continuity, fostering alignment, encouraging collaboration, and ensuring that the outcomes of CPRN are carried forward into future initiatives and policy agendas. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage all participants to engage actively, share your knowledge, and build meaningful partnerships that is ensure that what begins here continues to evolve and creates lasting impact for the future of education in our region. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to the SEAMEO Secretariat and SEAMEO CHECHEP for their leadership, dedication, and excellent coordination in organizing CPRN 2026. My deepest gratitude also goes to all our partners and collaborators whose unwavering support has made this conference possible. Your contributions are invaluable in strengthening regional cooperation and advancing our shared mission in education. With that, I warmly welcome you to CPRN 2026 and wish you a productive, inspiring, and forward-looking conference. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are deeply grateful for the inspiring and heartfelt welcoming remarks from Yang Berhormat Datin Seri Setia Dr. Hajah Romaiza binti Haji Muhammad Saleh, President of the SEAMEO Council. Her words remind us of the vital role that quality education plays in shaping the future of our societies and the next generation of leaders across Southeast Asia.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, as SEAMEO proudly celebrates its 60th anniversary, we invite you to reflect on 6 decades of transformative education, regional cooperation, and an unwavering commitment to advancing learning for all people of Southeast Asia. Please turn your attention to the screen as we present the SEAMEO 60th anniversary video.
1965, Southeast Asian nations came together to establish SEAMEO, recognizing that regional cooperation and education are vital forces for nation building, social progress, and long-term development. As countries sought to modernize and build resilient economies, there is a need for strong academic foundations, research capacity, and specialized knowledge to inform national development strategies and strengthen key sectors. SEAMEO established its first regional centers addressing key development priorities: agricultural and rural development, tropical medicine and public health, science and mathematics education, environmental and ecological sustainability, and English language teaching and learning. These pioneering centers became hubs of regional collaboration and capacity building. Southeast Asian countries kept pace with globalization and technological advancements while recognizing the importance of cultural heritage in fostering regional unity. SEAMEO established centers on innovation and technology, and archaeology, and fine arts. As there is growing demand for human resource development, skills upgrading, and regional talent mobility, SEAMEO established centers on technical and vocational education and training, higher education, educational leadership and management, open and distance learning, history and traditions, and education in mathematics, science, and languages. Digitalization began to reshape how people live, work, and learn. Online platforms and mobile technologies made education more accessible than ever before. SEAMEO expanded its regional network to address these emerging needs, While ensuring equity and inclusion, new centers were established with focused mandates on lifelong learning, inclusive education for learners with special needs, community education development, early childhood care and parenting education, technical education development, sufficiency economy philosophy for sustainable development, and STEM education. For 6 decades, a single vision has united the SEAMEO member countries, a vision of a brighter future, nurtured through education, science, and culture. SEAMEO is a story of transformation. At the heart of progress and the ever-changing landscape in the region, SEAMEO has been working to support the development of the region and its member countries. We champion evidence. We lead the conduct of research towards evidence-based policymaking, transforming data into actionable insights. We don't just present findings. We spark dialogues and discussions. We forge partnerships. We have built a network that stretches from local communities to regional and global partners. These partnerships are built on our shared purpose, weaving together wisdom, resources, and innovation to amplify our impact. We empower people. We train the educator, igniting passion for learning. We nurture the scientist, conducting discovery and translational research that drive innovations. We provide platforms for the artist, preserving our rich culture. We equip the health professional, building healthier and safer communities. Our journey is seen in the hands, hearts, and minds we have shaped. SEAMEO has stayed true to its mission of providing support to Southeast Asia, support that ripples through classrooms and communities. It is the relentless pursuit of knowledge that informs our policies. It is the unwavering belief in human potential that fuels our training. It is the spirit of collaboration that moves our region forward. For 60 years, this has been our service. This has been our commitment. As we look to the future, our commitment is stronger than ever for a better quality of life in Southeast Asia.
In every change across our rich and diverse cultures and histories, the people have always been the heart of SEAMEO's mission.
Ladies and gentlemen, 6 decades of dedication, partnership, and progress, truly a testament to the strength and resilience of SEAMEO and its member countries in advancing education across the region. As we celebrate this remarkable milestone, let us be inspired to continue building a future where every learner in Southeast Asia has access to inclusive, equitable, and quality education, empowering communities and transforming lives for generations to come.
The story we have just witnessed reflects not only 60 years of achievement, but also the strength of regional solidarity in advancing education for all. May this celebration inspire us to further strengthen our collaboration and reaffirm our shared vision for the future of education in Southeast Asia.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed, we are delighted to present a cultural performance by students of State Vocational High School 10, Bandung.
They will perform a traditional dance that embodies the spirit of a nation built by strong hands, united in solidarity, and bound together by love for the homeland and the people. Sit back and enjoy, and let's celebrate the richness of Indonesian culture. Please welcome Tari Sasukma Nagri.
wonderful performance. It is our honor to announce that one of the performers is Bapak Sugito Adiwarsito, the head of BBGTK Provinsi Jawa Barat, and also the founder of Senam Anak Indonesia Hebat. Please give him and all the performers a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to our official opening, we would like to invite His Excellency Minister Abdul Mukti to join the performers of Tari Sasukman Nagri from State Vocational High School 10 Bandung for a brief photo session on stage.
Minister Abdul Mukti, please kindly join the performance on stage. All the photographers, please stand by.
All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, thank you, Your Excellency, and our talented performers. We respectfully request Your Excellency, Minister Abdul Mukti, to remain on stage as we continue with the next highlights of today's program, the opening remarks and keynote speech. All the performers are pleased to make their way off the stage. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now arrive at the most anticipated moment of today's program, the official opening of the SEAMEO Center Policy Research Network Summit 2026 by the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Republic of Indonesia. Minister Abdul Mukti, time is yours.
Is it on? Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you. Good morning. Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. The Honorable Deputy Director for Program SEAMEO Secretariat, Mr. John Arnold Sena, the Honorable Director of SEAMEO Regional Center, Director of SEAMEO CSEP, high officials from the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education and other ministries and institutions, distinguished academics, speakers, and presenters, participants, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let us express our gratitude to the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His immense blessing, granting us the opportunity to gather in the strategic convening the SEAMEO Center Policy Research Network Summit 2026. On behalf of the government of the Republic of Indonesia, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all distinguished guests and participants. My sincere appreciation goes to the SEAMEO Secretariat for your continued and steadfast commitment in facilitating our regional cooperation in education, science, and culture. Congratulations on celebrating the 60th anniversary of SEAMEO this year. My appreciation equally goes to SEAMEO CSEP as the host of CPRN 2026. It is indeed a great honor and pride for the government of Indonesia to host this important regional forum, a forum that exists precisely to ensure that the knowledge we generate together translate into policy, and that policy translate into real change in the life of our learners. I am so delighted that our CPRN gathering brings together policymakers, researchers, educators, development partners, universities, civil society organizations, and practitioners from across Southeast Asia and beyond. This meaningful cross-sector participation reflects a principle that we strongly uphold in Indonesia's education governance, namely partisipasi semesta. Let me briefly explain what this means for an international audience. Partisipasi semesta is a whole of society approach where the government acts as a facilitator, not the sole provider. We invite private sectors, philanthropies, communities, families, and media to co-design and co-finance education solutions through our digital platform, Rumah Pendidikan. It is not just a slogan, it is a government mechanism that recognizes education as a shared responsibility. Through this forum, we are reminded that addressing educational challenges requires not only government leadership, but also active participation from all stakeholders. This spirit of collaboration is particularly important as we seek to bridge research, policy, and practice in pursuit of a more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable future for all learners across our region. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, to make the most of the strategic convening as a platform that shapes relevant and actionable policy insight, I invite you to reflect first on shared human development opportunities and challenges within our region. Nowadays, Southeast Asia has been growing into a dynamic, youthful, and promising region. Our population under the age of 30 represent almost half of our region total population by 2025. And with number, it is still likely to increase in the years ahead. As most of them are digital native, whom we often refer to as Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they embrace digital culture as a big part of their identity. And one of the things we often hear from them is how confident and proud they are in becoming part of this new generation. Today, it is not rare to see young people bravely stand up for various social, cultural, and environmental issues as digitalization helps them become more aware, literate, and vocal in shaping their voices. These trends within our region's population are worth celebrating as they signal immense opportunities for a brighter future with our largely young population at the forefront of economic and social development. Ladies and gentlemen, besides those opportunities, it is wise to recognize that some tricky parts also exist within the current period where our young generation grows and gets nurtured. In the past few years, we have observed how artificial intelligence has reshaped our ways of doing job, medication, research, and of course, learning. A recent study by the World Bank revealed that AI and robot adoption during 2018 to 2022 helped create jobs for an estimated 2 million skills formal workers. But at the same time, it displaced about 1.4 million low-skilled former workers in the 5 Southeast Asia countries. Further, more recently, we also started noticing that not only routine tasks are largely overtaken by AI, but also more and more non-routine cognitive tasks, such as interpreting and accounting, are smoothly processed by AI. Even today, there is a trend in the law firm industry to hire fewer junior associates because AI can handle the routine, time-consuming tasks traditionally assigned to them. So, what is the meaning of celebrating the creation of many new advanced jobs endorsed by AI development, while at the same time, real people lose their jobs and are left behind with no clear path to transition? This question becomes even more important when we consider that technological advancement does not affect all communities equally. While some learners benefit from high-quality digital infrastructure, others continue to face challenges related to connectivity, accessibility, and availability of learning resources. As a region, we must ensure that technological progress become a bridge rather than a barrier, creating opportunities for all rather than widening existing inequalities. Likewise, we must continue paying attention to those who remain vulnerable to exclusion, including learners with disabilities, children living in remote areas, migrant population, and those facing socio-economic disadvantages. Inclusion is not merely about expanding access. It is about ensuring meaningful participation, quality learning experiences, and equitable outcome for every learners. This aspiration is strongly reflected in the theme of CPRN 2026. As highlighted in the concept note of this summit, sustainable progress can only be achieved when research, policy, and practice are developed not only for communities, but together with communities. But let me be honest, the bridge between research and policy is often broken. Researchers publish papers that policymakers never read. Policymakers make decisions that researchers never study. We need to change this. At CPRN, we must commit to co-creation, researchers and policymakers sitting together from the start, not after the study. Not after the study is finished. I need to emphasize this. Indonesia is experimenting with this through our collaboration with SEAMEO centers and universities. But we need regional standard, shared database, and regular policy research dialogue. That is the true work of CPRN. I still have so many pages. And I've been too strong in emphasizing this point. Hopefully you can practice what I call as deep listening. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you with 3 important messages. First, it is imperative for us to prepare our young generation to become future-ready talents, equipped with strong 21st century competencies and lifelong learning culture. As a region, we have been quite successful in expanding access to education, deepening regional collaboration, and advance reform in areas such as early childhood education, digital transformation, TVET, and higher education, but more effort need to be made in ensuring that schooling translates into true learning among our students. Our region's current demographic advantage places a significant responsibility on all of us. The future prosperity of Southeast Asia will largely depend on our ability to provide quality learning opportunities that enable young people to fully develop their potential and contribute meaningfully to society. In Indonesia, we have introduced deep learning as our pedagogical strategy to transform learning into a mindful, meaningful, and joyful process. With deep learning, teachers are empowered to guide a holistic student learning journey from understanding concept to applying learning to real-world cases and reflecting on key lessons. With this strategy, we aim not only to equip our students with sound knowledge, but also with noble character and relevant 21st century competencies, which we have established into the 8 graduate profile dimension: faith, devotion to God, citizenship, creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, independence, health, and communication. In the spirit of cultivating a strong deep learning culture and pursuing our major goal of realizing quality education for all, our ministry continues to work collaboratively with various stakeholders in empowering our education system. These include enhancing our data governance, revitalizing school facilities, providing massive training on 21st century teaching for our educators, focusing on AI, coding, STEM, and character education, and distributing interactive flat panels and connectivity to school to support more interactive and rich learning. Ladies and gentlemen, my second message relates to the third pillar of CPRN, namely culture. We must remember that education and science cannot be separated from cultural identity. In Indonesia, our curriculum reforms aim to respect local wisdom, protect traditional languages, and celebrate diversity as a sort of national strength. We believe that a child who understands their own culture will be more confident in engaging with the world. At the same time, we must ensure that digital transformation does not erase cultural heritage, but amplifies it in ethical and inclusive ways. Indigenous knowledge, traditional ecological practices, and local craftsmanship are not relics on the past. They are resources for sustainable development. CPRN must continue to explore how cultural policies contribute to social cohesion, peace building, and intergenerational justice. This is not a soft agenda, it is a strategic one. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, my final message is an invitation to all of us to strengthen our commitment to education and evidence-based culture within it. As global relations become more volatile and as geopolitical tension disrupt our economies, more and more students in vulnerable areas are at risk of losing access to education. It is then an imperative for all of us to contribute to world peace, no matter how little we can give to restore balance and good practice in educating our children. At the same time, we must strengthen a culture where policy decisions are increasingly informed by evidence, research, and continuous learning. Research should not remain within academic publication alone. Research should inform decision. Policy should guide implementation, and implementation should continuously generate lessons that improve future policies. This virtuous cycle learning, adaptation, and improvement is precisely what the SEAMEO CPRN Summit seeks to promote. Through stronger collaboration among researchers, policymakers, and practitioners, we can ensure that innovation and successful practices are translated into scalable solutions that benefit learners throughout Southeast Asia. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, CPRN 2026 convened at an important and consequential moment, a moment when the challenges facing our education system demand not only bold ideas, but evidence-based decision, precision, and collaborative action. The theme of this forum, Bridging Research, Policy, and Practice, is not simply a title. It captures exactly what our region needs most: the commitment to ensure that what we learn in research inform what we decide in policy, and that what we decide in policy is genuinely felt in our classroom and in the life of our students. It is also encouraging that this summit embraces a broader vision connecting education, science, and culture as mutually reinforcing pillars of human development. By promoting inclusive participation, advancing equitable opportunities, and supporting sustainable futures, this forum contributes directly to our collective efforts toward achieving these sustainable development goals and strengthening regional cooperation across Southeast Asia. Let me close with this. The future of our region depends not on grand declaration, but on daily action to ensure that every child everywhere in Southeast Asia can learn with dignity, relevance, and joy. And with this message, I hereby officially open the SEAMEO Center Policy Research Network CPRN Summit 2026. I hope that over the next 3 days, this convening is used to its fullest of deliberate insight and ideas for the betterment of our education, science, and culture sectors. May the discussion we have here and the commitment we make together find their way from this room into our policies, and from our policies into the classroom where our children are waiting. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and thank you very much for being patient listening to my very long presentation. Thank you for you all, and hopefully we could have a very productive discussion. We have a very productive dialogue, and we avoid NATO. NATO means no action, talk only. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Your Excellency. May we respectfully invite the Honorable Minister to remain on stage for the presentation of a token of appreciation. To present the token, we are pleased to invite Mr. John Arnold Siena, the Deputy Director for Program and Development of the SEAMEO Secretariat, to join us on stage.
Let's proceed with a brief photo session. One.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed with our group photograph session. We kindly request the following distinguished guests to join Minister Abdul Mukti and Mr. Siena. First, we would like to invite the Secretary General, Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, Ibu Suharti, and then the Director General of Early Childhood Education, Basic Education, Non-Formal and Informal Education, Republic of Indonesia, Bapak Gogot Suharwoto, the Board of Directors of SEAMEO CISEP. Please proceed to the stage. All three Board of Directors, and then the Director of SEAMEO STEM Ed.
And I would like to invite directors of SEAMEO centers in Indonesia, Director of SEAMEO Biotrop, Director of SEAMEO Kitab in Language, Director of SEAMEO Kitab in Mathematics, Director of SEAMEO Kitab in Science, Director of SEAMEO Recfon, and Director of SEAMEO Simolec.
We also would like to invite partners of SEAMEO CPRN Summit 2026, the Director of Inovasi represented by Bapak Inga, the Director of SEAMEO Hub, the Dean of the School of Postgraduate Studies Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, and the Head of BBGTK Provinsi Jawa Barat. Please kindly gather around on the stage. So we would like to invite all the high officials coming from the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education to
Republic
proceed
of Indonesia.
to the stage,
Yes.
to gather around.
Please kindly join us
Okay,
on
for
stage.
all the high officials coming from the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education of the Republic of Indonesia. So probably we are going to
Yes.
make sure
would
that
like to
everybody is fit in.
Arrange.
So could it be a small U shape?
Yes.
Okay, are you ready?
Okay. We will now be taking group pictures on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. May we respectfully invite His Excellency and our distinguished VIP guests
To step
to
down.
kindly join the full assembly of participants of the stage for the next group photo session. Meanwhile, we invite all participants to rise from your seats. So all participants, please kindly rise from your seats to join the group photo session together.
So, yeah, because we are going to take the pictures coming from the stage, so everybody will be fitting in.
On our count, in 1, 2, and 3. One more time. 1, 2, and 3. We have the second pose. Please kindly form the C letter with your right hand, representing the CPRN Summit 2026.
Okay, we need your C. Okay, on your count.
On our count, 1, 2, and 3. The last one, 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, our last pose is actually we need to be to make the 7 with your left hand. So this is symbolized 7 kebiasaan anak Indonesia hebat. The 7 habits of outstanding Indonesian children.
On your
With
count.
my count, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank His Excellency Minister Abdul Mukti once again for his gracious presence and inspiring words today. We will now invite His Excellency Mr. Siena, Ibu Suharti, and Ibu Fina to join a doorstop session at the foyer area. Thank you.